And I don't mean it disrespectfully when I say they just don't beat Jaron Ennis. In fact, that style is absolutely tailor-made for Boots.
Do you feel like Boots belongs on the top pound for pound right now?
Not yet. I don't think so. Not right now. I just, like you said, we have so many people right now, and
well, because Vergil loves fighting tough guys. He doesn't run from anybody. He doesn't shy away from the tough matches. So,
and my dad's like, "Hey, they're probably gonna announce it like within the next few days." I'm like, "Oh fuck, and then it didn't happen."
This is the fight boxing fans can't stop talking about: Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Two undefeated knockout artists, both in their prime, speeding toward a collision that could define the next era of boxing.
You can try and downplay it, but I don't give a fuck. Jaron Boots Ennis is the best fighter in boxing today. I keep saying about Vergil, I respect those guys. I love Robert Garcia. The same thing will happen to Vergil Ortiz. It might take a few rounds longer, but he will absolutely slice him.
But instead of punches, we're getting drama. Accusations, denials, and clashing stories. Each camp swears the other is running scared. The deeper you go, the messier it gets. Now the real question is, who's dodging who, and who just got exposed?
Who's your dream fight? Who do you see yourself having a mega fight with in your career that's gonna, transcend you to the next level?
Any of the champions, Vergil Ortiz, it's a super fight. Any of the champions at 154, I'm here to make my mark, and it's starting this Saturday. For me, my legacy is to be, collect them belts, be multiple weight division champion, undisputed at 54 if possible, and keep doing it at each and every weight class, 154, 60, and maybe 68. That's my goal, and to fight these top guys. And, it's going to happen, one by one, we're going to bring them.
The latest shot came from Oscar De La Hoya during the final press conference for Ortiz's dangerous showdown with Erickson Lubin. The Golden Boy himself made things personal. He wasn't just hyping his fighter, he aimed his words straight at Boots Ennis and promoter Eddie Hearn, who planned to sit ringside.
If you go back to, if you rewind a bit, you remember when Boots Ennis fought and Eddie was like, let's fight Vergil now, and they were on TV, on camera saying this and that, and then right after they were off camera, it's like nothing happened. We were calling out Boots Ennis and they didn't want to do it. They wanted a tune-up fight, this and that. I understand all that. As a fighter, yes, you want tune-up fights, but how many tune-up fights do you need?
According to Oscar, their presence isn't confidence, it's a mistake. He warned that after they witness what Ortiz does inside that ring, they'll be the ones backing out.
Vergil Ortiz is ready at 154. And I'm glad, like I said, Boots Ennis is coming down to watch this fight. I'm actually really glad he is. But then again, I am afraid that Boots Ennis is gonna see Vergil and he's gonna tell Eddie, I don't want Vergil next. Let me have another tune-up fight.
But De La Hoya didn't stop there. He dropped a bombshell, claiming the fight was almost finalized, contracts nearly done, until at the last second, Team Ennis slammed the brakes. Why? They suddenly wanted a tune-up first.
First, the fight was gonna get made. Then Boots needed a tune-up fight and another tune-up fight, I believe. Vergil's always been ready. He's always been there waiting for whoever. That's who Vergil is. No, he doesn't shy away from any challenge. And the fact that they're going to come down to see Vergil Ortiz, it tells you everything. He's a superstar. Everybody wants to watch him. Even Eddie Hearn from the UK wants to fly down, and Boots Ennis from Philadelphia wants to see it front row in person and be in awe.
That accusation flips the narrative, suggesting it was Ennis, not Ortiz, who wasn't ready to sign. But this isn't the first time the matchup has been derailed by public drama. Back in 2024, the story was the opposite. Boots' father and trainer, Bozy Ennis, claimed Ortiz's team received an offer and flat out rejected it.
Just to make it clear on Vergil Ortiz, we sat in a room, me, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, and the top DAZN execs in America. We talked about how a deal would work with those two fighters. and we agreed on a deal. We went away, we signed a new deal with Boots. Part of that deal within the contract was the deal that we agreed with Golden Boy and DAZN to fight Vergil Ortiz. Boots signed it. Now, we didn't hear anything back. We told them we're going to fight in October. They said they're going to fight in November, and we haven't heard anything.
At that moment, the headline was simple. Vergil Ortiz is ducking Boots Ennis.
On Tuesday, Eric Gomez called me and he said, look, I just wanted to let you know we're fighting Lubin. After that, we want to get the Boots fight made. I said, well, we're in. I don't, you know. So I take their word for it, and I truly believe Oscar De La Hoya wants to make great fights. But that fight is done on our side, on all the terms that we agreed with Golden Boy. That fight for me, although it doesn't carry an official world championship, which is what we want at 54, is one of the best fights in boxing.
Golden Boy wasted no time firing back. Oscar De La Hoya jumped on social media with one bold message. Fans would soon find out who really turned down the fight.
But genuinely, you do feel he's a very skilled fighter.
Oh, yes. Yeah, maybe top 15 for sure.
Right.
Maybe not top 10.
That's what I said. Yeah. So let's get into that then. How true is that there was a real offer made to Boots, and he turned it down? And could you talk about like what was offered to him?
When I went to Riyadh the first time in November, and I met up with Turkey, I went to his his compound, his farm or whatever it was, and they said that more than likely I was going to fight Boots soon. I was like, oh shit, okay, we're finally doing this. You know, Oscar was there and everyone was there, and I was just like, okay, cool.
At 154, obviously.
Yeah, because I can't move down.
Then Ortiz himself stepped in. He said this was the first he'd even heard of the supposed offer. He said he didn't turn anything down, he said. It was a classic standoff. Two sides, two stories, and fans caught in the middle wondering who to believe.
So when Turkey and those guys said that you were going to fight Boots, was there a number thrown out?
There was no number. There was no number at all. The only thing that I knew was that, okay, this is a real possibility now. Like, Then I think the next week, I was at home and my dad's like, hey, they're probably gonna announce it. And like within the next few days, I'm like, oh fuck, we're fighting. All right, so I'm like getting mentally prepared and all this shit. And then it didn't happen. That's when I got word that he turned it down. But no, I'm not gonna say he turned it down. That's just what I heard, you know, because I don't like being on the other end of.
But then the truth behind Ortiz's long absence came out, and it changed everything. People thought his tune-ups were about avoiding danger. In reality, he was fighting for his life. Ortiz revealed he had battled rhabdomyolysis, a rare, life-threatening condition. Forget ducking fights, he was just trying to survive.
As far as the negotiation, I'm not a manager, right? So I don't take part of any of that. All I know is that we can start from the beginning. 147, you know, we're both upcoming prospects or whatever. Fight doesn't happen. I always felt like it was gonna happen at 154 anyways. All right, I move up to 154, past rhabdomyolysis. I had to get in a couple of tune-up fights because I just came back from a life-threatening illness. And we really wanted to make sure that I was even still okay to fight because that's how bad it was. So I got those fights out of the way. Then we fight Bohachuk, then we fight Majimov. Jaron Ennis got a world title at 147 or a couple of them, I think. Good for him. He has a lot of momentum going his way. You know, if I had that much momentum, I would have went straight to the big fight at 154, if I'm being honest. I'm just that kind of guy, I guess. But when it was time to say yes to fight, I was the only one that said yes. So now you have a lot of people that were saying that I was ducking at 147 when there was no fight to be offered or anything like that. The only times that the fight has ever been offered to either of us, I have said yes. So when people are saying ducking, when they align that word with me, I'm not talking about if they want to align it with him, they should. I don't care about that. But they want to align it with me, then they can't say that because I said yes.
Once healthy, Ortiz fired back with his own knockout statement. He explained his recovery, the tune-ups to get his body right, and then said the moment he was cleared and ready to sign, he was the only one who said yes. That single claim flipped the story upside down.
Vergil, we know that Eddie Hearn and Jaron Boots Ennis are going to be ringside at your fight on Saturday. And as you know, you've been in talks with these guys for a while now, pretty much all this year, some of last year, and the fight still hasn't been made. Do you think it's finally going to happen next? And what are you going to show them at ringside?
We'll see. You know, I've already said yes. I mean, that's all I can do, right? So we'll see. We'll see. It's really not up to me, I guess.
And from your standpoint, then, what is the biggest barrier to this fight happening? Why hasn't it happened yet? Because, like you said, you've said yes. So,
I mean, I don't know. I don't. There's really nothing else that I can do at this point, right? So, the barrier, it's somewhere on their side. So it's whether it's someone, something, or some amount of money. I don't know. That's completely on them.
12. Vergil insists that when it was go time, he stepped up and it was Ennis's camp that went quiet. So now the million-dollar question remains, in this high-stakes war of words, what's Boots Ennis's next move?
There's no one in the 154-pound division is going to touch him. If you look at the finish and the combinations, the hand speed's blistering, the power is frightening. Lima was like, and it was just, I just wanted a statement. And that was a statement of all statements. But we got to prove it with the resume. He's 28 years old. He's 10 years younger than Terence Crawford. We haven't even touched the surface yet. This is the most special fighter I've ever worked with by a mile. And we are just getting started. And I can't wait for him to be in these fights. I can't wait to duke it out with Oscar and Vergil Ortiz. Oscar tweeted and said, there's only one fighter, Vergil Ortiz, in 154. Then make the fight. If you truly believe you can beat Jaron Ennis, make the fight. You talk about Tom and Jerry, talk about all this kind of stuff. He's a defensive genius, but he'll also come in and take you to pieces and knock you